Welcome back to the Literary Apothecary. My name is Kate and today I'm here to give you guys a weekly reading update. Today is July 19th. Yes, this is going up a little bit later than normal. I usually have these up in the morning, but I was busy doing some self-care this morning and getting some more reading in, so I have more stuff to update you all on. And then we were supposed to get a big severe thunderstorm right as I had thought I was going to sit down to film, so I delayed it a little bit. And now, of course, as I'm sitting down and filming this, the thunderstorm is starting now. So I'm going to try to make this quick, so that way if there's possible interference with electricity or lights or internet or anything, we are not affected with this video going live. So this might be really fast, so buckle in. First, let's talk about what I have finished this week. I finished reading Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. Of course, this is a reread for me, and it always feels like coming home. Even the first time I read it, it felt like coming home to me. I am still and always split on that ending. I understand why it was written the way it was written because of expectations then, and even now, of women having fulfilling lives and successful lives, which to a lot of people, especially back then, but even now, like I said, means that women need to be married with kids. So I understand that, but there was at least one character who I desperately wanted a different ending for, and this is a controversy in Little Women. Well, maybe not a controversy, but a popular opinion in Little Women, and even Louisa May Alcott herself wanted it to end that way, but just knew her publishers kept pushing her, and so she finally relented and gave the publishers the ending they wanted, but with a slight twist. And so we get these marriages at the end, but not quite with the people that we expect them to have. I also read a Joan Didion essay, Girl on the Golden West, and this was originally in the After Henry collection. Now I'm reading it in We Tell Ourselves Stories in Order to Live. In this essay, as often is the case with Didion's writing, Joan has a knack of writing about one subject, in this case, Patty Hearst, while also writing about larger things. In this essay, California culture and the movements of the late 70s and early 80s. And I just love how she's able to write about so many different things while seamlessly focusing on just one thing. And then earlier today, as I was getting ready to film, I finished my audiobook that I was working on. That was Murder, She Knit by Peggy Earhart. This is a cute, cozy mystery that was completely unpredictable in my opinion. Overall, I enjoyed it, but I did have some issues with it, so check out my written review linked down below to see what those issues were if you're interested. That leads me to my current reads. Currently, I am nearing the end of Mad Ship by Robin Hobb. I have about 250 pages to go in this book, and it feels like I've been reading it forever. That's because I have been reading it since, I think, like May. And so, yeah, I kind of have been reading it since forever. The live ships in this book are my favorite characters so far. I'm also nearing the end of The Unwilling by Kelly Braffett, and this one is a very slow build. I have been waiting for something to happen for most of the book. I'm still enjoying the writing and our characters, even though they're not great people. I have mixed feelings about the characters. I'll talk about that once I do my spoiler-free review for it, but I'm still enjoying it, and I can't wait to see how this ends up now that things are really starting to pick up. I am also in the very beginning stages of The Raven Scholar by Antonio Hodgson. This is a book that I impulse requested from the library. A lot of people on Ben and Grace's Discord has been reading this and loving it, and apparently one night or early morning when my brain wasn't fully awake, I requested this from the library. I don't remember requesting it, but I got a notice saying that my library hold was available, so I picked it up and I started it. Like I said, I'm very early on, just a couple chapters in. I'm liking it but not loving it yet, so I'm waiting to see where that really grabs my attention. I am nearing the end of The Rave by J.R. Charles. This is my ebook that I'm reading. I have mixed feelings about this one also. I'm intrigued and interested, but it also feels like some of the very big major reveals that have a huge impact on our characters were held back too long. I needed these a little bit earlier, and so that's kind of affecting how I'm reading the end of this. And then the audiobook that I will be starting today, probably once I start cleaning a little bit, which really needs to be done, is Kitty Confidential by Molly Fitz. I have no idea really what this is about. I know it's a cozy mystery and it seems really short. I got this, I think there was like one day where there was just a huge sale on cozy mysteries on Audible. A lot of them were included in my Audible membership, so I just kept adding them. And now a lot of them are coming to be off my Audible membership at certain times. So this is one of them. This is leaving my membership on August 5th, so I want to get this read and finished by then. It is super, super short. It's technically labeled a novel, I believe, but it's like the length of a short story, it feels like, at least the audiobook version is. So I will definitely have that finished by August 5th. I'll let you all know what that is all about once I get it started. That leaves me with my next picks. The next physical reads will be one that John will pick once he gets here on Monday, and also probably A Breath of Snow and Ashes by Diana Gabaldon. This is book 6 in the Outlander series. Of course, a reread for me, continuing my Outlander rereads. Just in time for the Outlander spin-off coming up. I think it's called Blood of My Blood, which looks really fascinating to me. So those two will be my next physical reads. Of course, A Breath of Snow and Ashes will be an immersion read, and depending on what John picks, that may also be an immersion read. My next ebook will be an arc for book 2 in the Hexologist series by Josiah Bancroft. This is titled A Tangle in Time. I can't wait to dive into this. I had went and requested it from NetGalley. There were issues with the formats, so I messaged Josiah on his Patreon, and he got me an early copy edition of this. And then I also messaged Orbit, and they were able to update the copy on NetGalley. So now you all can read it in Kindle format. If you are interested, it's up there. Go and get it now. I can't wait to start in on that as soon as I finish The Rave. My next short story will be a Dresden short story. This is titled Goodbye. It's technically labeled as a microfiction, which I imagine might be a little bit longer than short story, but not quite novella length. That title has me very hesitant, especially with where Changes left off. I am very nervous going into this, but we'll see what happens. And then the last thing I have to talk to you all about is the videos coming up on my channel this coming week. We have, of course, a spoiler-free review for Changes by Jen Butcher. I just mentioned that, and that is going to be, that book I loved so much, so that will definitely be a rave review. And then something that doesn't happen often, but I wish could happen more on my channel, a series review. I finally finished a series. That is the Mulatu series by James Lloyd Doolin. I had a video review for book 3 up, Only a Grave Will Do, this past week, which I'll also link down below. But this coming week, we'll have a series review for the whole series as a whole. I'll talk about both the prequel novella and book 1 with some spoiler-free summaries of those two books. And then I'll go on to talk about what I loved about book 2 and book 3 as well. So that's it for now. Let me know in the comments below, what was your favorite reading moment from this past week? What are you looking forward to reading the most this coming week? As always, keep reading, and I love you all to the moon and back. Bye.